Hey gang, Caleb Shaw, and we are back with another one. Guys, we are going to start doing these little segments more and more because the turnout's been good. For right now, unless you can think of a better name, we're going to call it Caleb's News and Events, or how about News and Events with Caleb Shaw? I like that, News and Events with Caleb Shaw. Today we are joined by a special guest. This is my friend Brad. He is from the American Legion Riders, Chapter 166. These guys do a lot. There's a lot that they do that I have no idea about. I kind of want to talk to him. I wanted him to come in here. They have several different events going on, but I wanted to hear their mission statement. I wanted to hear who they are, and then we'll get into the event. So Brad, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time to be here today. For the ones that don't know, and that includes vets, there's a lot of vets that are unaware of these things as well, but who are the American Legion Riders? And introduce yourself, tell me your background, and then just kind of walk me through that. You know, tell me about you first.
I'm a disabled vet from the United States Army. I was a track mechanic and recovery specialist, and I had a short career of 2 years when I broke my spine, fractured my spine in 3 places. Anyways, from that moment on, like, it was a rough start. You know, I had PTSD. I got a pacemaker when I was 35 at Audie Murphy Hospital, died a couple times, and really thought I had no more purpose. Mm-hmm. And through the years, through like Warriors Weekend, going on that on the fishing trip, and different other veteran organizations, I was able to. I feel like I'm healed now. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I got to give back. How do I do it? God, where do you send me? You know, and I kept praying about it. Did a little nice things by making crosses. Got in with the American Legion due to Colonel Mike Petrosh, which is one of the another great veteran in the community, and Ron Koshin. And they actually was like, you know, if you want to join the American Legion, I'll pay for your first year. Just pay it forward. So I've done that also through the 3 years I've been there, and ended up getting a post officer position in the beginning. And actually, you know, to this day, you know, I'm just blessed by all the things that had happened in that way, and being able to give back to my fellow brother and sisters. And
so kind of when you felt it's your most defeated
you know, no
time.
one would hire you. You know, they were saying, you know, well, you're on medications, we can't hire you, you know, because you have to be honest with your employers. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I couldn't go back to college. I couldn't retain information anymore. It was a big journey, and basically at one point in time, you know, you're just sitting there watching television, just saying, I got more to give, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you want your service back to your country that you did highly in honor. And basically through these other organizations like Warriors Weekend and CWR, got back on track and felt like I had a purpose again. And
what's kind of neat on that is when you were struggling and when you needed it the most, people's kindness, reaching out to you, these other organizations that were trying to help, are helping veterans and giving back, you know, they saw your struggle, they saw where you were at, and they helped you make that transition. And then in that, you found that healing, and then here you are, like you said, you're taking that kindness that was given to you, and you're paying it forward to your fellow veterans and community to try to continue to foster that healing and stuff that goes on. And so that's amazing. What is the primary focus of you know, the American Legion and American Legion Riders, and what's, if you kind of had to just narrow it down to a primary mission, you know, so to speak, we're military, prior military, we like those mission statements, you know, what's y'all's purpose? If you just had to drill it all down, I mean, I know you guys do a ton, and we could make a whole show about that. Yeah. Totally get it, but, you know, for a Cliff Notes version, kind of,
veterans,
what do you guys do?
Family, state, nation, and that flag, like, in our local community and our children.
And your primary source of funds, those, you know, I'm guessing the government's not writing you a big old huge check every month to do all this kind of stuff. You know, you guys go out and earn it on your own, don't you?
That's everything in your local community can help. You know, every business, every nonprofit. We're a nonprofit, 501c3-19, and that's how we get our funding. As we go, I would say ground pound, hit the ground running, and go. I go door to door, and also with the assistance of other nonprofits to show you the ropes and show you where to go to get those funding from, just
Good.
like yourself.
Yes, sir.
Realty.
Yes, sir. Well, I know we had some different events that you guys have coming on that we definitely want to get the word out there to help you to get the exposure, but then also to collect the funds and continue to pay this forward. I know this Saturday, November 16th, you guys are having the Crossroads Freedom Ride. Tell me about that.
It's our second year. It's our third year actually getting this chapter in Victoria. We're nationwide. Every rider's main goal for the year is the Legacy Fund. That's every veteran that or a child of a veteran that's from 9/11 on. Back when it started in 1994, that they were looking for a mission, and that was the mission that they took on. We raised up for the victim from a 9/11, the child or 50% or more disabled can qualify. You don't have to be a Legionnaire. You can go on the national website, put in for your application, and basically see if you qualify, and it's up to $20,000 for your kid to go to college.
Wow.
So that's what the main statement behind the American Legion Riders is. Everything else falls into your community, from the Battered Women's Shelter, Toys for Tots, Kiwanis, Warriors Weekend. Any of those are your pillars to hit in your community.
And this one,
Crossroads Freedom Ride actually is our annual ride to help us fund us through the year. We do once a year, we do this, or you can do a poker run, but we chose to keep the main focus on our annual Freedom Ride, and it'll be our second and our third year to pull off. And this year, we wanted to state it as letting other local nonprofits be a part too. One of them is the VFW is going to be there, and any burger sales or when you go enter the ride, $5 goes to the VFW for their burger sales. And we want to do a lot more joint efforts in the future, like with the DAV and different other veteran organizations. And the Kiwanis will be there also on Saturday to tell y'all what they're about.
Right.
Local charities is probably the biggest backbone to Victoria. And we need to be always aware of all of them.
Right.
Not just single out like American Legion and our American Legion Riders. There's so many in this town that do so much good, and we want to make sure that they're always out there. Now, local businesses can be there for a $50 donation to the American Legion Riders.
Well, you hit a good point with the fact that there are so many wonderful charities in Victoria, and a lot of times people, they can get tunnel vision on trying to get them going. And I like what you said there about, high tide raises all ships. And if these groups, if we can start working together instead of independently, there's power there, and there's power through numbers and networking and all that. And, and I may not be good at one thing you're doing or vice versa, but maybe I am. And maybe there's something that, hey, I would be perfect to help you on this. And then looping back around, there might be something later that I'm doing that you would be perfect on. And that's one of the things why you're here and with Shaw Realty, that we really want to grow through giving. And we really enjoy going out and serving the community, but we do so with other local businesses and local and people, other like-minded people that want to serve and give back as well. And so I think you just hit a brilliant point there with, not just uplifting your own charity and your own organization, but trying to help others as well. And I think that's an awesome deal. And with this Freedom Ride coming up this weekend, like you said, this is your big annual, this is one that is important to you guys.
This is what funds us through the year.
Good deal. Do you have anything, is there anything that I missed? I know you had some notes and some whatever. Was there anything on there that you wanted to get to that I shot right over or didn't really give you time to talk about?
We will be having a blood drive also. That is part of the American Legion mission.
Okay.
It's our blood drive. So come out and give blood. If you're, there's numerous things I want to be.
Do you know what that one is? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. And if not, we can come back in and we can figure it out. You let me know and we'll get the word out there.
it's actually, they're going to be there at 10 a.m. to set up for the blood drive.
Okay.
And they're going to be through there.
At this event?
Yes.
Okay, forgive me.
Yes, the ride starts at the American Legion, and that's where you register to ride. You can also be in your vehicle. All donations matter.
Gotcha.
And you can ride the ride in your vehicle or in your motorcycle on 2 or 3 wheels. And basically the ride is about 75 miles, and it goes around the. We're going to take off to Goliad and come back around to Victoria, and there's a few special attractions and features in there that it just seems like we're blessed to have. So get out there and see what that special feature is. I'm not going to tell anybody.
I like it.
And when we come back, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have Stephanie Ross and Southern Drive Band.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah, and they were sponsored by Dalton Trucking. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was great, Dalton.
And basically, come enjoy with other veterans. I asked all the veteran community to be there and, have a burger. And also, if you purchase a drink that helps the VFW, we're going to have the auxiliary from the American Legion doing cake sales. It's $2 a slice for dessert. And meet some of those nonprofits that are going to be there. And we also have Old Stogie Company's going to be there.
Great.
They do us a great deal. And actually, per cigar sold is going to go to the VFW for their kindness towards us.
Outstanding.
So you buy a cigar, veterans get 10% off. You buy a cigar, $2 goes to the VFW.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, my friend, I greatly appreciate what you do in the community. I appreciate how you're honoring veterans and continuing to make sure that we have people willing to serve and to volunteer in the future, because I'm a firm believer that the way we honor our veterans and take care of our past warriors will ensure that we have future warriors, and
freedom is so important.
And it can be gone so quickly, and we just passed Veterans Day, which is another reminder of I think veterans understand more than anybody the price of freedom because they've gone to protect it, and they also realize how quickly it can go if we give it away, and so thank you for what you do. Thank you for the Crossroads Legion Riders, Chapter 166. Do you know your Facebook page off the top of your head?
Yeah, I actually wrote it down. So
hey, you're the man. There you go.
www.facebook.com, ALR 166 Victoria.
Outstanding. So look for them on Facebook. If you can't find them, you have any difficulties, reach out to me and I'll put you with them. But again, this is their big fundraiser coming up this weekend, Saturday, November 16th. Registration opens at 8:30 a.m. And again, it is at the American Legion Post, arriving and leaving from American Legion Post 166, 1402 East Santa Rosa Street. Any final words or?
I just want to thank everybody, especially y'all, for silent auction gifts. That's another way we fundraise for us that day, and it helps all the local charities that we're involved with. So thank you, and thank every business out there. And a little shout out to a Navy veteran that made us a few items.
Good.
And that's an awesome guy. He gave us about 10 wood items, so come see him.
Outstanding. If you've got any donation items for the event this weekend, feel free to swing by Shaw Realty, drop them off. Brad, thank you so much. American Legion Riders.
Thank y'all.
And we will be back with another special guest. Thank you. Hey gang, Caleb Shaw, we are back. But we are back with my dear special friend, Miss Jennifer Rayburn. Thank you for joining us. For those that don't know, she is a fellow thespian with myself. We have done a show or two together, and from the very first moment when we walked out on the stage, before I knew her, before anything else, she treated me so kindly, had so much personality and charm and all that, and just immediately made me feel welcomed on the stage and in the theater and all that. And so from the very first time I met you, thank you for being so kind. And
Thank you. It's my great acting skills.
Yes, well, you acted like you liked me very well, so much so that I even believed it. And so
secretly, I'm a meanie.
I know, but they don't have to know that, no. And so, but all joking aside, you are a dear friend, and you do so much in the community that I wanted to have you in so we could kind of talk about it. And just let people know that you guys have an event going on this weekend and stuff. And so, first and foremost, introduce yourself. Tell the world who you are.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
and you're right. Joking aside, we did some shows together at Theater Victoria, and not acting. It's easy to be nice to someone like you. But I am Jennifer Rayburn. I work at Gulf Bend Center. I'm the Director of Advancement there. And technically, when you hear about a Director of Advancement, the role is somebody who writes grants and raises funds through foundations and events to further the cause of the agency. Typically, it's for a nonprofit, and that's what Gulf Bend Center is. a nonprofit in our community. We serve 7 counties, providing services for mental health disorders and for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Man, that's a mouthful right there.
It really is, but I'm not a typical director of advancement.
No, you're not typical at anything.
I'm really anti-typical, and so really what I do as a director of advancement is advance the cause for Gulf Bend Center as an advocate. And so I'm very passionate about really everything, everything that I do.
That's why I like you so much. Yes,
I do it with a lot of energy and
we are
a lot of
souls there. Yeah,
a lot of purpose, and I'm passionate about people and making certain that people have what they need in life to kind of be on equal footing and to have the resources they need to be set on the right path, because I think that once we're on the path, we can then be on the same journey.
No, I agree.
Together. So,
and I was, I have to be honest. I was ignorant to Gulf Bend Center, and I still don't know a lot of what they do, and so this is twofold. I want to get to this awesome event you have coming up this weekend, but again, just going into a little bit more detail. Where are you? For people that just walking right in and what the heck is Gulf Bend Center? Bring us up to speed in a minute or two if that's even possible.
It's a lot to get you up to speed for. So I'll go with kind of 2 things. First and foremost, we are the local mental health authority. And by authority, I don't mean that we are the end-all, be-all experts in the world. That is a phrase and a term that the state of Texas has given us.
Okay.
Just like the Guadalupe River Authority, right? We know what that is,
yes,
right?
Ma'am.
So, and there are other authorities across the state of Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
We're the authority for the 7-county area, including Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Jackson, Lavaca, Refugio,
Does this
and
kind
Victoria.
of cover all ages?
Right. We provide services for children through I say cradle to grave.
Okay.
Primarily we serve adults 18 and older.
Okay.
We serve uninsured and underinsured persons
Okay.
who are experiencing what are the 3 primary big mental health disorders. And those
Okay.
are typically severe mental illness,
Okay.
depression, that is severe depression, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia.
All right.
And we typically see persons who are in crisis, which means if somebody's experiencing transitional depression or circumstantial depression, and I use those phrases as a non-clinician. I am not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I'm the director of advancement.
Yeah.
If somebody's going through an experience because they've lost a job, or maybe they didn't get voted class president, or a breakup, typical experiences of grief or letdown, financial woes or divorce, those things can really take an impact or a toll. Maybe even what's called general anxiety disorder. Some people experience that, where they really experience ongoing anxiety in their lives. We may not see them, but somebody who's in crisis, perhaps people who have suicidal ideations, people who experience PTSD, whether that's because of childhood trauma due to abuse, perhaps military
PTSD
personnel.
is not strictly limited to the military. Yes.
No, it is not. Military personnel, though, you can find people who will experience PTSD because of an accident sometimes. People can have a traumatic brain injury that can then cause them to have these episodes.
Right.
So we then may see them if they're uninsured or underinsured. And they can come to us for their medications that they may need for their psychiatric needs, counseling services and case management.
Right.
Those kinds of things can happen here in our offices. And then there are, I'm going on and on, I'm sorry.
Right, no, it's okay. That's what I
So
asked.
many services that come from that.
Do they typically do the pay, for lack of better terms? Customers, there you go. I knew there was going to be a right word for that.
Consumers, yeah.
Do the customers, do they typically do they reach out to you, or are they? How do you get your typical customers? Are they referred, or is it a combination of several different things?
Yeah, a combination of different things. Some people come to us, and they come to us and they say, I'd like help. I'm interested. Some people are referred by their doctors. Some people are referred by a family member may come in with them. And some people are referred to us in crisis. Maybe a school contacts us. We've been contacted by school counselors. Shout out to schools. We love good schools that are involved in paying attention to students. We've been contacted by law enforcement personnel. We work closely with local law enforcement. We want to make certain that our citizens are safe. We've been contacted by emergency rooms. When we typically are contacted by them, it's people who are, again, in crisis. Because they're experiencing an episode or a psychiatric break. So, and those tend to be episodes that are the ones that get all the glamour and are few and far between, but they get a lot of notoriety, and we read about them, and we want something to be done. And really that's what Gulf Bend is here to take care of. But there's so much more to the mental health community that comes from education, and we provide that. We provide mental health first aid training. We have some of the best certified trainers actually in the nation. Wow. We have the 2 top leading trainers in the nation with a worldwide certification in what is called mental health first aid training. And it goes in, it's very much like CPR. Everyone has heard of like you do the beats to the Staying Alive song to help save a life.
Right. Yes,
there are things you can do to really help intervene with somebody who might be in a mental health need. And we shouldn't ignore that. And there's no reason why we should not be certified to help intervene with that. And so we provide training.
That's awesome.
We have certified trainers to help with companies for their HR departments. So many times, even small businesses don't have an HR department, and they may say, I have an employee who's really struggling. We don't know what to say. Or should we do something? What can we do? She's been missing work, or he's been calling in, or maybe their son is having a problem. We have training for that we want to come and give to employers, and we want to give to HR departments and help them to understand that, first of all, it's okay to say something. And
that's what I was going to hit on, is a lot of times the stigma attached when, my brother, he was a Navy SEAL for 10 and a half years, and I learned a lot about PTSD after he came home from his deployments and stuff. But one of the main things that I learned is he had to be willing to look in the mirror and say, hey, I've got this issue. I need to deal with this. And instead of running from it, or, and he had moments where he didn't know how to deal with it at first, and alcohol for a little while became the fix, the Band-Aid and stuff, and until finally he stepped back and he said, no, I'm going to attack this like anything else I've done in my life. And he started going to the Carrick Brain Center with help from the Brain Treatment Foundation and some different things. And I said that to say this is, so many people are worried about the stigma or what other people are going to think or all these things, and I'm here to say that nobody's perfect and nobody's without flaw. And one of the biggest things to overcoming failures and struggles is to face them and to understand that there's grace there, and there's forgiveness there, and there's help there, and if you need help, and if you need to reach out, do so, and it's okay. And if you have people in your life that want to make fun of you or give you grief for seeking help, you don't need those people in your life, and so I'm just very, with my brother's background and all of this, I'm grateful for you all, because I know here, even in the coastal Bend area, we do need, in the Crossroads area, there is mental help that is needed for quite a few people,
Yeah.
And we are going to talk again, and we got something in the works where a lot more of this is going to come out and get explored and talked about. But for the sake of expediency today, because we got to get rolling, but I really wanted to talk about this Magic on the Midway. Okay. This seemed exciting to me, and then I'm sure this is an important fundraiser for you guys, and and all of that. And so we'll be putting it on the screen as well. But that is this weekend, November 16th. Tell me about this bad boy.
Okay, so this is going to help. In fact, not just help. This is entirely to help fund the wellness community. Magic on the Midway is our second ever fundraiser to support the wellness community. Our residents pay rent, but the services we provide cost more than they can pay. We provide transportation. We have 24-hour coverage there.
Wow.
So it's not like a regular apartment where there's no one on site. Someone is on site all the time.
Wow.
We do cover all utilities. We provide all lights and filters and all of that stuff.
amazing.
So they pay rent, but we subsidize everything
Understood.
else. So
Okay.
we want to take care of those things and continue to provide those services for them, like the cooking classes and the on-site counseling. We have I think a couple of AA meetings meet there. We have group counseling, things like that. So we have tickets available on Eventbrite and our website. It's November 16th. Doors open at 6 p.m. It's at Spring Creek. It includes cocktails, dinner. It's a great catered meal from L6 here in Victoria. We have an illusionist duo from New Orleans. They're called the Crescent Circus. They were here a couple of years back with Symphony. Great couple. They're going to disappear on you and reappear. We've got music from a great DJ here in Victoria. We've got carnival games, so if you want to play some skee ball or ring toss, that's always fun. But you're going to definitely get your money's worth. Tickets are only $75 a person, which sounds like a lot, but
Not for everything you're getting
Well, yeah,
with this and
I'll
what
tell you
you're
what.
supporting.
open bar, so it's always a
I
great
mean,
time.
I know some people just right off they're gonna make that. You're not gonna gain on some people with that open bar and $75. And so again,
Auction, silent
yes.
auction, so that's always a great thing too.
Good deal. And they Magic on the Midway tickets at Eventbrite. They can contact you, Ms. Jennifer Rayburn, at 361-575-0611, extension 437. Again, that is November 16th, this Saturday at 6 p.m. Anything else we need to know? Anything else you want to highlight with this? Again, you're going to see more Miss Jennifer. She is not done. We have a lot more stuff in the future. We're a talking combination, that's for sure. We can keep that going. But again, thank you for everything. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your story. It's exciting, and thank you for your friendship.
Oh, thank you so much, Caleb.
I'm grateful to have you in my life. And anything else you want to get out?
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Well, guys, Miss Jennifer Rayburn, again, she's with Gulf Bend Center. We're very grateful for her, all that she does in the community, as well as for Gulf Bend Center. So thank you for tuning in, and we will be back with another guest. All right, gang, Caleb Shaw, and we are back again. We are with our friend just from last week. You saw her, or was it 2 weeks ago now?
I don't know. It's cold outside.
It's
My
going
brain's
fast,
frozen.
yeah. But regardless, Miss Meridith Byrd, she is with the just drew a blank Food
Right
Bank
there.
of the Gold. Oh yeah, it's right in front of me. Food Bank of the Golden Crescent. I was saying it before I looked down. Food Bank of the Golden Crescent. We got another event we wanted to hit real fast.
Yes.
Tell us about this one. I'll hold it up while she talks. Or
Okay.
did you need the talking
No,
points
no,
off of that?
nope. I think I've got it memorized.
While I'm asking, so.
So this Saturday, the 16th, we have a 5K, our Moving Out Hunger 5K. This is the third time we've had this event. It's always sponsored by Armstrong Mayflower. We've actually got some other sponsors on board this time. We've got HEB, the Victoria Independent Automobile Dealers, and then Brandon Paving. So with all of our costs being covered, all of the ticket revenue is going straight to the food bank. So the $35 entry fee will go directly toward fighting hunger in our community. Now, we do offer a free entry for kids 6 and under, and then also adults 60 and over. You still get your t-shirt and all of that. We're just doing, giving a break to the younger kids and then to our seniors. Everybody else, it's $35. You can register on the food bank's website. If you go to our Facebook page, we have a link to this event as well, or you can show up on race day. We've got registration happening that morning at 7 a.m. at De Leon Plaza. And we're giving awards to the top 3 overall finishers, male and female. And then we're also doing the top 3 finishers, male and female, in each age group.
Outstanding. Now, I'm going to throw out a pet peeve here. I'm glad that you guys are doing the free entry for the kids, 6 and under. But parents, if you're going to bring your kids 6 and under, or even just whatever, don't stack them on the very beginning of the starting line. I got to tell you, I try to be one of these runners at places and stuff.
You're not competitive, are you?
Maybe just a little bit, but all joking aside, I always feel so terrible because I love their enthusiasm. But every 5K, a whole bunch of little kids line the starting line.
Yep.
Well, they got about 30 yards in them, 40 yards in them, and that bell goes, and they take off as hard as they can. Well, then about 30, 40 yards into it, they die out, and then you have an entire field of runners coming right behind you, and they all do the same thing where they turn around and their eyes get real big, and then here come all these adults, running, and we're thinking the same thing, like, oh my God, I gotta dodge these little kids and not run over some kid while I'm trying to start my watch and all this, and so it's, I say it in jest, but it also, where one of these kids gonna get run over one day because they all cried that line and then they just, oh crap, we're about to get run over, and so, but this is a great event. It's at De Leon Plaza. I like different events instead of always being at Riverside or always, it's fun to mix it up a little bit. And again, package pickup is Friday, November 15th.
At the gazebo. We'll be there downtown. The race starts and ends at the courthouse.
Outstanding.
So it starts, we go down Bridge Street to River, go across to Main, take Main back up to Staten, and then over again to Bridge and then back to the courthouse. 2 times, 2 loops. So there's your 5K.
Good. Well, again, this is November 16th, Saturday, 8 a.m. at De Leon Plaza. Race day registration is 7 a.m. Thank you for what you're doing. This is the Moving Out Hunger 5K Run Walk, once again benefiting the food bank of the Golden Crescent. It's a wonderful organization, guys. Help them, donate, volunteer, whatever it is they need.
Absolutely.
You can reach out to Miss Meridith at the food. Her phone number is 578-0591 or 218-9246. And if you just absolutely can't find them on Facebook or you're terrible on Facebook, swing by, we'll put you in touch with them.
Absolutely.
We definitely want to support them. Thank you to Mayflower Armstrong for supporting this and for Brandon Paving and
HEB and the Victoria Independent Automobile Dealers.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Miss Meridith, for
Thanks
once
for having
again
me.
stopping by. I'm sure we're going to see you quite often. You're a favorite of ours. And so we will be seeing you, and we will be back with our last and final guest. Hey gang, Caleb Shaw, and we are back again. I'm really excited for today's segment because if there's somebody that I kind of look up to in the community as far as how they do things, their presence in the community, and another business that I feel they took on the same concept as we did of growing through giving and growing through supporting your community. And even before we ever talked, I knew who he was before I knew who he was because of his support of the community, his support of athletes here, his support of health in the community, which I look up to. And again, his social media, he's good on social media. I'm still trying to learn and replicate and get there, but he does an amazing job. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Brandon Webb. He is the owner of Complete 360.
Used to be Complete Nutrition. Most people probably hear the Complete 360 and we were formerly Complete Nutrition.
Yeah, tell me, but even that, like, if I understood correctly, you wanted to take that entrepreneurship, I always butcher that word, to kind of the next level, and through your hard work, you became an independent owner.
We're a year out now, so I can legally talk about it a little bit more now.
Oh, good. Well, I'm sorry, I almost screwed that up.
No, we had some legal bindings for the first year, but Complete Nutrition was a massive franchise at one point, 200 plus stores. Before I owned the store, because I didn't own it from day one.
Okay.
I used to run 1/3 of the stores in the nation, so about 62 stores is the most I ran.
Wow.
And that was in 15 states. Well, about 5 years into that, I told my owners I either wanted to get into real estate, which I still want to someday, so we'll probably be talking down the road. Or I wanted to buy out the first store I opened, which was Victoria, Texas. And so I got the chance to buy it. We ran it as a Complete Nutrition for about 2 years, and Complete Nutrition decided to change their model. They just felt like the franchise model was not for them, and they wanted to focus on Amazon and website.
Okay.
And most franchise owners didn't agree with that, and so we had the ability to cease our agreement and rename at our own expense and stuff. And so we were one of the few franchisees that actually took the plunge and renamed our store.
And that's I don't want to say a scary venture, but it is to, it was you and your wife, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, my wife and I opened this company, and it, for 7-8 years I worked for brokers, some great brokers, and I did all this, but it's really a leap of faith when you lock arms with your wife and you're like, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to jump out and open this, and it's not easy. And
you got to think, since we've been open since August of 2011, we've pretty much done advertising, radio, everything for 8 years straight. We've never stopped. So it was we had some damage control because we rebranded, and as much as people know who we are, some people thought either it was different owners, new shop, something different. Really, other than the name changing, you walk in that door, it's same locally owned people, it's locally managed, same employees. And so that was definitely the hardest part, is like, man, it's for a business almost 10 years old to go and change the name. It was a tough thing, but it's worth it now.
Yeah, and not to overtalk you, but to me that speaks to your character and that you're able to pull that off. And I think you were able to be successful at that because of the presence of kindness and giving back that you've done in this community. One of the Megan that works up here, one of the first things she told me when I was telling her that I wanted you to come in, and she said, you know what I like about him and his staff is, she said, every time I walk in there, they greet me by name. They greet me when I walk out. She said, I feel like they took the time to get to know me, to get to know my needs, and they're not just trying to sell me something. They're not just trying to push something on me. They're actually listening to me, and she said that makes all the difference in the world to me, and that's why she's so committed to you guys as a business and as individuals, because you took the time to invest back in her, and that's really a testament to your business savvy and how you treat people, and because I think ultimately in the end, you can have the best marketing, you can have everything, but if you suck where it's most important in dealing with the people, you're not going to make it. And I've seen a lot of good businesses come and go in Victoria because they couldn't grasp the concept of customer service and investing back into your clients.
For sure, because now customer service can destroy you with a social media post.
Yep, very quickly.
We definitely challenge the status quo. I can walk out of that store and let it run for probably a month without me in there. One of the biggest things we challenge is, in most retail markets, it's all about getting employees in there that can do the job. You may not pay them the right way. We challenge ourselves by paying almost probably double the standard of a position in our industry. Most of our employees are either in school, finishing their degrees. Some of them have their degrees that work with us. So we are very big about having the right people, training the right people, and that speaks wonders to the people that come in. So if you look at most of the employees that we've had, our average turnover is about 2.5 years. In retail, that's pretty rare.
That's solid. That's very solid.
And we've had, and most of the employees that have ever moved on with us were never from being let go. They either finished their degree and they got a job in real estate, or they finished their degree and they got moved on to Formosa. That's never something I would be disappointed in.
Right.
Like, I was a stepping stone in theirs, and most of these people, because they worked for us for so long, they got called and their management calls and says, hey, this guy was a manager in your store for 4 years. You guys are phenomenal in the community. And they're sometimes getting better positions in their next job because they were with us for 4 years.
Yep.
So that's what we're very big about.
Well, that's another testament to you as a business owner and how you've done things, because that's one of the deals that I try to do with my agents when they come on, is I let them know that if you ever have something in life that it's better for you, for your family, and it's a step forward, they never have to be afraid to come into my office and tell me about it, because I'll write their letter of recommendation, and I will try. I like the fact that they're trying to progress and do better, and I think when you pass that on to your employees, they feel that respect and that love from you, and so they want to represent you better to the clients and the customers and stuff. And so,
and that's a level of leadership, in my opinion, because it's a humbling. You have to put everything aside, because you could have your best employee come to you and say, I'm looking for another job. Doesn't mean I'm leaving.
Right.
But I may be looking for another job. And you have to be, most people would say, we'll put your 2 weeks in.
Yeah, absolutely would.
I had it happen about 3 months ago with one of my employees, and same way, hey, how can I help you? A month later, I ended up sitting down and saying, how can I add more value, because I think you could be more valuable here. And so he ended up not leaving.
That's awesome.
And so I think you have to, some people immediately want to put their shields up, and our employees are number one, like hands down. I believe in, I don't know if you're a book reader, Simon Sinek. I don't know if you're reading Simon Sinek.
Yes, I do. I know exactly who you speak
Start
of.
with
Yes,
why.
sir. Yep.
But he's all about your employees have to love your company before your customers do.
I agree.
And so
I agree. No, that's all. But so many people, I don't think, grasp that, and it is right. As an owner, when somebody tells you, especially one of the employees that's awesome or that you really like, I like all of them, but it would be easier if it was a trouble person or something like that. But I had an agent that came and let me know that they were going to switch and go to another brokerage. And I'll be honest, it sucked. You know, like my pride part and my emotions did not want to let them go. But I told everybody I would support them, and so I did. And I offered to carry their stuff over to the next place. And if it wasn't for them, I offered to carry it back. Yeah. And thank God I ended up, they decided it wasn't for them, and they came back home, and it was great. But I know that struggle that you speak of when you support them, even if it goes against you as the owner, and because you want to show that sincerity. And so I commend you for that. I could talk to you all day, brother, because I really, again, I hammer these points, but I think it's important for other businesses to take note that I'm a big fan of your style of leadership, and I think you lead through example, but you lead with compassion and you lead with support of your community. And so, again, just for the final time, I wanted to just commend you on that and tell you what
it goes both ways. Well, I got a lot of growing room. I'm still young. So
but you're aware of it, and that's the cool thing is people see you now. Well, come back and watch in 5 years. Come back and watch in 10 years because of your passion and your motivation. You're going places. But on that note, I know you got the whole reason you stopped by today is you got a big event this weekend coming up that you wanted to hit on, and tell us about this thing, man. I'm pretty excited.
So on Saturday.
Hold this up if it's good for you.
On Saturday, some people may recognize this. This is Blessing Awadabu, or the Boogeyman, and Maddy Forberg. They've got a combined total of over like 2 or 3 million followers. But we have a big event. It's a Redcon customer appreciation event. They'll be out here. It's a free meet and greet at the store. We'll have a bunch of our partnered affiliates with us. We'll have a lot of our athletes out there. We'll have the Redcon athletes. Sales throughout the store. Radio station will be out there. So it'll just be a great day if you want to come check out the store, meet some not just local celebrities, meet some like U.S. celebrities.
Yeah, some big time
celebrities. And so it's just something we put together. We usually have about 1 or 2 of these a year. They're always super fun, amazing turnouts. It's a great time to come out because if you're looking to get into fitness or health, there's nothing better than meeting other people that are already
at the
pinnacle of it, or people that, we help all walks of life with our store.
Right.
So, if you come into our store and you're on day 1, there's 50 other people at day 1 that shop with us.
Yep.
And then we have the advanced people so this is a great day to come and meet those people, because when you get into fitness and health, so many people, I think there's a stereotype of like the fittest guy in the gym or the fittest guy in a triathlete. They're usually the most humble guy in the whole gym.
Absolutely.
Because they probably came from somewhere where they were either overweight, some health condition happened, a crisis happened in their life, and fitness or health was how they took and directed that focus. So that's why I always tell people, it's find a community of health and fitness, and they really will help you if you're struggling or you're looking to get into it. Find those people.
And you guys have in the store one of your big deals, and forgive me not knowing the name of it, but you guys have, because Megan always tells me about that machine that you guys go over, that thing that she goes over there and does, and it gives her all of her...
Yeah, so we offer, it's completely free for anybody. It's an InBody 570. We just got the newest one, the 2020 model. They're medical grade devices. If you go to even some of the hospitals here, they use them. But it tells you everything about your body. When I say everything, it breaks down, it'll take a full segmental and it can tell you, Caleb, in your right arm, how much water you have, how much fat you have, and how much muscle you have. And so why we like it from a segmental aspect is, if you start working out, for most people, and you look at a scale every day for 30 days in a row, it's going to be pretty disheartening because you're having 2 things happen.
Right.
You're losing weight and you're building muscle. So that's why we'd like to use composition.
Because muscle's heavier than fat, correct?
A pound of fat and a pound of muscle are the same thing. Now, density-wise, they're different. A pound of fat may be a bigger area, surface area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So, but that's where, I think it's a great thing to come. For anybody, it's day 1 you walk in that store, that's the first thing we recommend. And most people don't want to step on it, and after they're done with it and they've learned about it, it's like weight off of their shoulders. They understand better, they have a better understanding of what their goals should be, and they realize that, you got to eat right, you got to train right. I own a supplement store, and I'll tell you that supplements are not number 1.
Right.
Got to eat right, got to train right, got to stay hydrated and sleep, and then once you get that down, supplements are like having a better baseball bat, having a better baseball glove, having a better golf. All they are is a tool to get you there faster.
And I'm sure you see this a lot, but whenever I invite people to go to jiu-jitsu with me or anything like that, one of the things that I hear most often is, well, I need to get in shape before I can go over there. Well, no, just take that first step forward and actually, start doing something. They don't have to have six packs when they walk into your place to take advantage of these or to use these supplements. I mean, they can literally roll off the couch and walk in and say, hey, I'm starting this journey. I need help. And you guys will be there for them. They don't have to be in great shape to walk in there, correct? I know that's
I agree.
That goes without saying, but I can't tell you how many people tell me I won't start working out till I get in shape. And I'm like, well, it's still 2 + 2 = 4, and you got to step forward there.
And very small percent of our customers are that bodybuilder, right?
Right.
I would say 70% of our customers are people that are in their 30s and older that just want to be healthier.
I'm going to hit a huge misconception here that you can probably knock right out of the park for me. A lot of times when I talk to females or whatever, I'll hey, hit a weight, do some push-ups. No, I don't want to. I'll bulk up. I'll bulk up immediately. I'll be too huge. I'll look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So no, if I'm a female, I can't curl anything. I can't do a push-up because I'll get too big. Do you see that happen a lot, that ladies do 5-10 push-ups and all of a sudden they're so swole that I just see guys spending a lot of money on supplements and stuff to try to get that, and I don't know if females really did figure out that shortcut.
If females had some special hormone that can make that happen overnight, I think guys would be taking it.
That's what I thought too, but I wanted to ask the expert.
I'm seeing less of that. I think that that scrutiny in that for girls thinking that's going to happen, and I think it's because you're seeing more people on social media where girls are seeing fit girls, but they're girls that are normal lifestyle type girls.
Right.
They're not. Before you go and look somebody up 5-10 years ago, fit girl, and like you said, those 5 or 10 girls that are like built more than anybody. Now you look up, and some of the top people that are followed, they're moms that have had 3 kids that they don't got 6 packs, but they're fit.
Right.
Yep. And so that's where I think you're seeing that. And there's a lot of great local gyms here in town, from jiu-jitsus to training gyms to CrossFit, that are kind of I would say recreating that image of what a fit mom looks like, what a fit dad looks like.
Yeah, and I think strong is awesome, and I like that, like you said, that females are starting to embrace that, and I think it's awesome when my wife is training jiu-jitsu and she's in the gym, and because she gets not only physically strong, but she gets mentally strong and emotionally stronger, and her stress goes down, and all those positive benefits that go along with good health. And so heading into the weekend, getting ready to go, you got any final nuggets of
if you got a chance? Well, the event's from 10 to 2. We'll have sales and stuff all day, and we'll be open all day. But the celebrities will be there from 10 to 2. That's when a lot of the vendors and stuff will be set up. But other than that, I mean, I just love engaging with other local business owners. I think that, like you were saying, local business owners, it's us versus the world now.
I agree.
When I say the world, that's the internet.
Yeah, I agree.
So whether you're in real estate, retail, maybe the only industry that doesn't compete is food, but now there's delivery services and all that stuff. So, but I really appreciate coming out.
No, we're grateful. If people want to get in touch with you, what is your Facebook? Just give me the whole contact, starting with your Facebook page.
Complete 360 Victoria. You can do @Complete360 Victoria. Same with Instagram, @Complete360_Victoria.
What's the phone number over there?
361-894-6315. You can actually message or call it. We actually have a platform set up where you can straight text to it as well. It's our landline.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for what you do in the community. Guys, please go out and again support this. It is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Complete 360. Awesome event. But again, more than anything, you just want to support our local businesses, because he is for sure, if nobody else is, he is for sure supporting Victoria. So again, Brandon, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Final thing in closing, guys, one more time, I wanted to remind everybody, from now until December 4th, we've got the 6th annual Operation Piglet Pet Supply Drive. Very simple, guys. If you have any pet supplies, cleaning supplies, blankets, beds, kennels, leashes, anything a pet owner, a pet rescue, a pet shelter might need, please bring it and drop it off. We have a drop box at Complete.
Right when you walk in.
Bam, right there. We have it here at Shaw Realty. We have it at Wallach & Volk. We have it at Double J. We have at Furniture Warehouse Direct, Gulf Coast Feed, and a whole bunch of other places we'll be getting with you on. FSU, Outlaw, all sorts of other great businesses that want to support local. So, guys, Caleb Shaw, Brandon Webb, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.